Hello everyone. At some point in our lives, most of us have felt anxious about money, especially when we're young. Our income is still modest, but expenses seem to grow nonstop. Have you ever wondered what your life might look like in 5 or 10 years if you still haven't learned how to manage your finances effectively starting today? The truth is, many young people between the ages of 20 and 30 make common financial mistakes that push the dream of financial freedom further and further away. Sometimes, they even fall into unnecessary debt, leading to a life of constant stress and exhaustion. But here's the thing. If you can recognize and avoid these common mistakes early on, you can completely change the course of your financial future. Instead of spending 20 or 30 years struggling to make ends meet and pay off debt, you could be financially free and living comfortably within just a few short years, no longer weighed down by money worries every single day. So what exactly are these financial mistakes? And how can you manage your personal finances effectively while you're still young, especially during this crucial decade of your 20s and early 30s? In today's video, I'll share with you the 10 most common financial mistakes that young people make, along with proven methods for managing your money, strategies that have already helped millions of people around the world succeed. I truly believe that if you start applying these principles now, a secure and comfortable financial future will be firmly within your grasp. Let's begin with the first mistake that many young people unknowingly fall into: not having a spending plan. One of the biggest mistakes young adults, especially those in their 20s and early 30s, often make is not creating a budget. Many people assume that because they're still young, earning a modest income, or living a relatively simple life, there's no need to spend time making a monthly budget. But that kind of thinking can be incredibly dangerous when it comes to your financial health. Not having a clear spending plan each month is like wandering into a vast forest without a map. You have no idea how much you're spending on essentials like food, rent, or utilities, let alone the smaller, seemingly harmless expenses like shopping, entertainment, or travel. And before you know it, you've spent more than you earn, fallen into uncontrolled debt, or completely lost track of your personal finances. In fact, many young people earn a decent income but still end up broke by the end of the month, simply because they don't know where their money is going. It's only when you start budgeting seriously that you'll truly understand where every dollar of your income goes and how to make the most of it. Now, you don't need to create an overly complex plan down to the last cent, but at the very least, try applying one of the popular budgeting methods like the 50/20/30 rule or the 6 jars method. For example, the 6 jars method, introduced by Harvey Kerr, has helped countless young people around the world take control of their finances in a clear and effective way. With this method, you divide your monthly income into fixed categories: 55% for necessities, 10% for long-term savings, 10% for financial freedom investments, 10% for personal growth, 10% for enjoyment, and the remaining 5% for charitable or social causes. Having a clear spending plan not only helps you avoid running out of money before the end of the month, but also gives you a solid financial foundation to pursue bigger goals in the future, like buying a home, a car, or making investments. And for many young people, one of the most common aspirations is owning a home. But be careful. Chasing that dream without a solid plan can easily lead to another major financial mistake: buying a home that's beyond your means. That's the second mistake I'll be discussing next. Owning a home is a major life goal for most of us. It represents stability, a place to call your own, and is a dream many young people begin pursuing as they enter adulthood and start building their careers. But that dream can become a serious mistake if you buy a home that's out of your financial reach. The most common reason young people fall into this trap is the pressure to keep up with their peers. When you see friends or coworkers buying spacious, stylish apartments or houses, it's tempting to want something just as good, or even better, so you don't feel left behind. But rushing into such a huge financial decision can leave you burdened with overwhelming pressure for years, especially if your income isn't yet stable or strong enough to handle long-term debt. The clearest consequence of buying a home beyond your means is that you'll end up spending nearly your entire monthly income on mortgage payments, not to mention additional costs like maintenance and utility bills. This creates an intense, ongoing financial strain. Some young people, eager to own a beautiful home, take out large loans with repayment periods stretching 20 to 30 years. locking themselves into debt that follows them into old age. Personal finance experts often recommend that no more than 1/3 of your monthly income should go toward housing costs, including your mortgage and any associated expenses. For instance, if you earn 15 million VND a month, ideally you should be spending no more than 5 million on housing. That way, you'll still have enough left over for essentials like food, education, savings, and investments. Also, don't overlook the option of renting if your financial situation isn't quite ready for homeownership. Renting for a few years can be a smart move, allowing you to save and build capital. That way, when you're ready, you can buy a home that truly fits your financial reality. Buying a home is a major decision that requires careful thought and realistic planning based on your income and monthly expenses. Don't let the dream of owning a house turn into a financial burden so overwhelming that it negatively impacts your quality of life and your future. And there's one more thing you absolutely need to be mindful of. If you've already decided to take out a loan to buy a home or any other type of loan in life, be extremely cautious. Many young people fall into the next common financial trap, which is underestimating the seriousness of debt. This brings us to the third mistake I want to talk about. It's a surprisingly widespread issue, especially among younger people, the tendency to be careless or even dismissive about their own debts. When facing financial difficulties, many immediately turn to borrowing money without thoroughly considering their ability to repay it in the future. This often stems from a desire to quickly own luxury items or to maintain a comfortable, convenient lifestyle without having to wait. The most common forms of borrowing that trap young people today are credit card debt and installment loans. At first, these options may seem convenient and even come with enticing promotional offers, but this very convenience can lead to poor spending habits and a dangerous debt spiral. Without careful management, small loans can quietly build up into massive debt, placing serious pressure on your life and financial future. One of the most dangerous aspects of consumer credit is the high interest rates that often come with it. If you fail to pay off your credit balance in full each month, you'll face compound interest, which can cause your debt to grow exponentially, far exceeding the original amount borrowed. Many young people have found themselves drowning in debt simply because they lost control of small, seemingly manageable loans. Another major risk of juggling too many loans at once is the negative impact on your credit score. A damaged credit history can make it extremely difficult to access important future loans, whether it's for buying a house, a car, or making large-scale investments. This is a financial trap that many young people unknowingly fall into, seriously hurting their future opportunities. To avoid this situation, you need to learn how to manage your loans responsibly. Before taking on any debt, always ask yourself clear questions. What am I borrowing for? Can I realistically repay it in the future? Is there another way to solve this financial problem without borrowing? If you do need to take out a loan, prioritize those with low interest rates and reasonable terms. Most importantly, always make your payments in full and on time to avoid the nightmare of compound interest. In addition, build a separate savings fund, an emergency fund, to reduce your reliance on borrowing when unexpected expenses arise. This will help you maintain greater control over your financial situation in the long run. However, there's another major financial mistake many young people make when it comes to money: putting off saving because they believe they're still young and have plenty of time ahead. But you might be surprised to learn that delaying your savings is one of the most serious financial mistakes you can make, one that causes you to miss out on the incredible power of compound interest. This is mistake number 4, delaying savings, which we'll dive into right now. Putting off saving is one of the most common and most dangerous mistakes young people make, especially those between the ages of 20 and 30. Many believe that in their 20s, when income is low and expenses are high, saving just isn't a priority. They tell themselves they'll start saving once they're earning more or when life becomes more stable. But that mindset is deeply flawed, because the longer you delay saving, the more you miss out on the incredible benefits of compound interest when it comes to building wealth. Think of the money you save when you're young like planting a seed. The earlier you plant it, the more time it has to grow into a strong, flourishing tree. But if you delay planting, you shorten the time available for growth, and you lose out on all the potential rewards that compound interest could have brought you. Even if you save just a small amount each month, after 5, 10, or 20 years, you'll be amazed by the wealth you've accumulated, enough to buy a house, a car, or invest in exciting business opportunities. Financial experts always recommend starting to save from your very first paycheck. One simple but powerful rule of thumb is to set aside 10 to 20% of your monthly income into savings before spending on anything else. This habit creates a strong, healthy financial routine and helps you gain better emotional control over your spending, reducing impulsive and unnecessary expenses. Moreover, delaying your savings puts you at risk when life throws unexpected challenges your way, like illness, unemployment, or emergency expenses you didn't anticipate. Without a proper financial cushion, you could find yourself in a crisis, forced to borrow money and possibly fall in a high-interest debt. That's why starting to save early is not just important, it's essential. Even if your savings are small at first, what truly matters is building a consistent habit. That way, saving won't feel like a burden, but rather a natural and rewarding part of your everyday life. However, alongside delaying savings, there's another major financial mistake that young people often make, and that's failing to build an emergency fund and a retirement fund early on. This is mistake number 5, which I'll dive into more deeply in this next part of the video. Another common misstep among those in their 20s and 30s is neglecting to set up both an emergency fund and a retirement fund from an early stage. Many people think they're still young, healthy, and have their whole future ahead of them, so there's no need to worry about things that seem so far away. But this kind of thinking has led countless individuals into hardship, struggling when life throws a curveball or reaching the end of their careers without enough financial backing to stay independent. Let's start with the emergency fund. Think of life as a long journey full of surprises. Things don't always go as planned. Along the way, you might face unexpected events like losing your job, getting sick, having an accident, or needing to cover urgent expenses. If you don't have an emergency fund when these things happen, you'll immediately feel the pressure, possibly even needing to borrow money just to get by. Financial experts recommend setting aside an emergency fund equal to at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This fund acts as a safety net, allowing you to focus on your career and personal development with peace of mind, no longer panicking every time an unexpected situation arises. Beyond that, many young people make the mistake of not thinking about retirement planning early on. Most people believe retirement is something to worry about later in life. But in reality, the earlier you start saving for retirement, the more benefits you'll gain exponentially. That's the magic of compound interest. Even a small amount saved in your 20s can grow significantly over time, creating a solid, stable financial foundation by the time you're ready to slow down or retire. You should also take advantage of financial tools like social insurance programs, employer-sponsored retirement plans, or voluntary private retirement schemes. Joining these programs early helps you optimize your long-term savings and ensures that, after years of hard work, you'll have a dependable source of income to enjoy your life, without needing to rely on your children or family members in old age. Building these funds doesn't require you to set aside a large sum all at once. Instead, you can start small, putting away a fixed amount every month. What matters most is consistency and discipline. Over time, even the smallest contributions, when compounded, become a powerful force in shaping your financial future. So remember, even if you're still young, full of energy, and focused on the now, your future still needs thoughtful preparation starting today. And in addition to building emergency and retirement funds, there's another vital area you must pay attention to: investing in your career and personal growth. Failing to do so is another major mistake that leads many young people into stagnation and financial frustration. This brings us to mistake number 6, which we'll now explore in more detail. One of the most common, yet easily overlooked, mistakes people make in their 20s and 30s is not actively investing in their career and self-development. Many young professionals become complacent once they land a stable job with a decent income. They feel like they've reached a secure place and see no need to spend additional time, money, or effort on learning or improving their skills. However, this mindset quietly limits their potential for growth and greater income down the line. In reality, the job market is constantly evolving and becoming more competitive. If you're content with your current level of knowledge and skills and don't make the effort to keep learning, you'll soon fall behind others in your field. And with that, your chances for promotion, salary increases, or lifestyle upgrades will gradually shrink. Investing in your career isn't just about working hard. It also means actively seeking out opportunities to enhance your personal value, like learning a new skill, taking specialized courses, or simply expanding your professional network. You should make it a habit to connect with people who are more skilled than you, who have a positive outlook on life, and who are constantly striving to grow in their work and personal lives. From these individuals, you'll learn invaluable lessons, not just technical skills, but also how to think strategically and handle life's challenges more effectively. Regularly investing in yourself and your career is like planting seeds for a secure financial future. Every new skill you gain, every meaningful relationship you build, they all open doors to greater opportunities, helping you increase your income and ensure that your career remains stable, even during tough economic times or shifts in the job market. And remember, it's never too late or a waste to invest in yourself. Specialized courses, skill-building workshops, and new certifications all help boost your competitiveness in the workforce. They could even save you from the threat of unemployment or a stagnant income. When you invest in yourself, you're not only investing in your present, you're also paving the way for long-term financial freedom and stability. So if you've never considered, or have always put off, investing in your personal development and career, start today. This isn't just a responsibility to yourself. It's one of the smartest ways to secure your financial future. Now, when it comes to long-term financial security, there's another equally important factor: diversifying your sources of income instead of relying on just one. Many young people have learned this lesson the hard way, facing financial trouble when their sole source of income was suddenly cut off. This brings us to the next topic, mistake number 7, relying on a single source of income. One of the most concerning realities today is that many young people depend entirely on just one source of income. For most people in their 20s and 30s, that income usually comes from a full-time job, whether at an office, a company, or perhaps from a small personal business. Once they secure a stable job with a livable salary, many feel safe and settled, and they don't see the need to build additional income streams to protect themselves against future risks. But in today's fast-changing economy, relying on a single income stream is a major risk. No job is truly secure forever. One day, you might face unexpected situations like company layoffs, sudden pay cuts, or even total job loss, all because of factors completely outside your control. That's why financial experts strongly emphasize the importance of building and diversifying your sources of income. Having more than one income stream gives you a strong safety net during uncertain times. It prevents you from falling into a financial crisis if your main job disappears. On top of that, multiple income streams offer more opportunities to earn and grow your wealth faster, bringing you closer to the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. You can start small by using your existing skills or hobbies outside of your main job. For example, you might try freelancing, writing blogs, creating videos on YouTube, selling products online, tutoring, or offering services in areas where you have expertise. At first, these side incomes might be modest, but over time, as you build credibility and experience, they can grow into stable and even substantial income sources, sometimes even surpassing your main job. Additionally, passive income streams like investing in stocks, opening a savings account with compound interest, investing in real estate, or contributing capital to promising business ventures are all smart strategies to consider while you're still young. These allow you to earn money without constantly trading time for it, giving you a more secure and long-term financial foundation for yourself and your family. Diversifying your income not only helps you stay proactive in the face of financial emergencies, but it also lays a solid foundation for you to confidently pursue long-term goals, like buying a house, getting a car, or even retiring early, without constantly stressing over money. However, to make that a reality, you need a clear long-term financial plan, something that many young people today still overlook. Not having a long-term financial strategy is another serious mistake that I'll be addressing next in this video. Mistake number 8, not having a long-term financial plan. One of the most critical yet commonly ignored financial mistakes among people in their 20s and 30s is the lack of a clear long-term financial plan. Many young adults only plan in short bursts, by the week, the month, or at most the year. They rarely think about or actively plan for major long-term goals like buying a home, starting a family, having children, or even preparing for early retirement. Not having a long-term financial plan is like setting off on a long road trip without a destination, without a map, and without enough fuel. Sure, you're moving forward, but you don't know exactly where you're going, when you'll arrive, or whether you'll have what it takes to complete the journey. That's why it's easy to feel lost, make financial missteps, or worse, miss out on great opportunities for investing, growth, and income improvement. In reality, those who achieve financial freedom and live comfortably are often the ones who have a specific and well-structured plan. They know exactly what they want, how much money they need to achieve it, and most importantly, what actions they need to take to turn those goals into reality. They regularly track, review, and adjust their plans based on life changes and market trends to ensure they stay on course. An effective long-term financial plan includes clear goals and defined timelines. For example, buying a house in 5 years, expanding your business in 10 years, or retiring before the age of 50. From there, you'll know exactly how much you need to save and invest each month, quarter, and year to stay on track. Having a long-term plan also gives you more motivation to work, and it makes it easier to resist short-term spending temptations that don't truly serve your bigger goals. Additionally, a long-term financial plan gives you the flexibility to react quickly and effectively to life's unexpected changes or shifts in the economy. You'll know what to do when your income changes, when a surprise investment opportunity arises, or when unexpected financial risks pop up. This is a powerful advantage that keeps you in control and financially secure, no matter what's happening in the world around you. But even with a solid long-term plan in place, that doesn't mean you're automatically safe from everyday spending pitfalls, especially the sneaky little habits that can quietly derail your financial strategy. These seemingly harmless traps can completely sabotage your finances if you're not careful and alert. That brings us to mistake number 9, falling victim to spending traps, the next topic we'll explore in this video. Even with a clear financial plan, most young people are still highly susceptible to spending traps in their day-to-day lives. These traps often come disguised in very familiar forms, like discounts, promotions, special deals, or spur-of-the-moment purchases that aren't thought through. At first glance, these expenses may seem small and insignificant, but over time, they can quietly pile up, and before you know it, you've wasted a surprising amount of money on things you didn't actually need. One of the most common examples is the discount and sale trap. Maybe you felt that rush of excitement when you see something marked down, and you immediately buy it without asking yourself whether you really need it. Many people believe they're saving money in these situations, when in fact, they're spending on items they barely use, leading to unnecessary waste. These discount programs often cause you to buy more than you intended, pushing your monthly spending well beyond your planned budget, often without you even realizing it. Another common spending trap is the last-minute trap. When you're shopping in a rush, especially under pressure or time constraints, you often don't have enough time to think your choices through. This makes it easy to overspend compared to your original plan or to buy items that don't actually fit your needs. For example, when you're shopping for personal items or groceries at the end of the week, maybe right before the store closes, you're more likely to make hasty decisions, leading to expenses that go over your intended budget. There's also this spend more to save more trap, a tactic many stores use effectively. For instance, a promotion might only apply if you buy a certain quantity or spend a minimum amount. At first, it feels like a great opportunity to save money, but in reality, you're being nudged to purchase more than you actually need, leading to unnecessary excess and wasted cash. And then there's the early buy trap. When a hot new product launches, you might feel the fear of missing out, worried it'll sell out quickly, and rush to buy it at full price. But often, just a short while later, the product gets heavily discounted, or you realize you didn't really need it in the first place. This rush to be the first can cost you a lot of money for very little actual value. To avoid these spending traps, you need to stay alert and think carefully before every purchase. Always ask yourself, do I really need this? Is it worth the money? Can I wait and get it later at a better price? Practicing this kind of thoughtful spending will help you make smarter decisions and avoid unnecessary waste. But even with full awareness of these spending traps, even if you've learned how to avoid them, there's still one more serious financial mistake many people fall into. It stems from a mindset of wanting to get rich quickly without a solid foundation of financial knowledge. This brings us to mistake number 10, the impatience to get rich fast, a critical topic we'll explore in the next part of this video. The final mistake I want to talk about today might be the most common, and potentially the most damaging of them all, the desire to get rich quick. In today's fast-paced world, especially with the overwhelming influence of social media, many young people are constantly exposed to images of sudden success, overnight wealth, and a flashy lifestyle. This often creates a sense of impatience, the urge to make money fast, to earn a lot in the shortest time possible. However, the desire to get rich quickly almost always comes with extremely high risks. Many young people, due to lack of experience and basic financial knowledge, end up pouring all their savings into unclear investment schemes, multi-level marketing businesses, or projects that promise enormous profits in a very short time. As a result, they become easy targets for financial scams, lose all their capital, and sometimes fall into long-term debt that can take years to recover from. You must always remember, there is no fast and easy path to wealth that doesn't come with significant risk. As the famous saying in the financial world goes, the only free cheese is in the mousetrap. This means any opportunity that promises to make you rich overnight is likely hiding huge risks. If there truly were a quick and easy way to get rich, people wouldn't be offering it to you for free or inviting you so eagerly. They'd be doing it themselves. The most important thing when it comes to building long-term and sustainable wealth is patience, discipline, and continuous learning. You have to understand that true wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Financial success usually comes from consistent money management, regular saving, smart investing, and steady progress over time, not from get-rich-quick schemes that require no effort or knowledge. So instead of rushing, start small. Create a reasonable budget, save a portion of your income each month, and gradually build your financial knowledge. Begin investing with small, safe, and sustainable amounts. Over the years, if you stick to these good habits, you'll build a solid financial foundation. And one day, you'll find that you've reached your goal of wealth and financial freedom in a way that is secure, sustainable, and truly rewarding. So, we've now gone through the 10 most common financial mistakes that young people between the ages of 20 and 30 tend to make. But if you want to truly master your finances and reach financial freedom sooner, it's not enough to simply avoid mistakes. You also need to learn how to spend wisely and effectively, especially if your current income is on the lower side. Up next, I'll be sharing some of the most effective saving and money management methods specifically tailored for people with lower incomes, helping you achieve your financial goals no matter where you're starting from. Let's dive into the next part right now. After understanding and avoiding the 10 most common financial mistakes in your 20s and 30s, the next crucial step is learning how to manage your money in a smarter, more effective way. Personal finance isn't just about saving. It's also about how you allocate every dollar of your income towards specific goals, so you can reach financial freedom and live the life you want. First, one of the most highly recommended strategies by financial experts is to set a clear, detailed monthly budget. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it should at least show you where your money is going, what you're spending on, and whether you're exceeding your income limits. One of the simplest and most effective budgeting strategies is the 50/20/30 rule. This rule breaks your monthly income into 3 parts: 50% for essentials like housing, food, and utilities, 20% for long-term savings and investments, and the remaining 30% for personal spending, entertainment, or other needs. By sticking to this rule consistently, you'll find a healthy balance between spending and saving, meeting your current needs while also building a solid foundation for the future. Another powerful and well-known method is T. Harv Eker's 6 Jars financial system. This method suggests dividing your income into 6 categories: 55% for necessities, 10% for long-term savings, 10% for investment and income growth, 10% for self-education, 10% for enjoyment and leisure, and 5% for charity or social contribution. While it may sound complex at first, once applied, it becomes incredibly practical and effective, especially for giving you a clearer picture of your overall financial situation each month. In addition to budgeting, it's also crucial to closely track your spending. Nowadays, There are plenty of smart apps available to help you record and monitor your income and expenses right on your phone. By reviewing your daily, weekly, and monthly spending habits, you'll quickly spot any unnecessary leaks and make timely adjustments to save more. Another highly practical and effective strategy, especially for students or those with limited income, is cutting back on non-essential expenses. Try small but meaningful habits like cooking at home instead of eating out, limiting expensive coffee or drinks, choosing more affordable housing, or sharing rent with roommates. These small changes might seem minor, but they add up over time and can lead to substantial savings. Lastly, aside from saving and smart spending, it's also essential to find ways to increase your income in a sustainable way. If you've already optimized your expenses but still struggle financially, consider using your skills and strengths to earn extra income through online selling, freelance work, writing, or taking on part-time gigs in your free time. You might also look into safe, strategic investments like bank savings accounts, cautious stock investments, or funding promising business ventures, all of which can help grow your passive income over time. By combining smart budgeting, consistent saving habits, and strategic income growth, you won't just overcome current financial challenges. You'll be well on your way to achieving larger, more meaningful financial goals in the near future. However, if you want to take your financial independence to the next level and reach freedom even faster, you need to learn how to make your money work for you, instead of just letting it sit idle. So how can you make money generate more money in the safest and most effective way? That's exactly what I'll be guiding you through in the next part of this video, with the topic, Smart Saving and Investing Tips to Reach Financial Freedom Sooner. Let's continue watching. Once you've mastered the fundamentals of effective personal finance management, the next thing you need to focus on is learning how to save money smartly and how to increase your income. Especially if you're in your 20s or 30s, knowing how to save and earn more will fast-track your ability to reach important financial goals like buying a home, getting a car, traveling, or investing for the long haul. First, when it comes to saving money, it's important to understand that saving isn't just about stashing cash in the bank or hiding it in a drawer. More than that, it's about changing and improving your daily spending habits. Small expenses that seem harmless, like eating out, pricey coffee, or impulse shopping, can add up quickly. For example, if you spend 20,000 to 30,000 VND daily on coffee, simply switching to brewing it at home can save you hundreds of thousands of dong each month, even millions over the course of a year. Another key to saving effectively is to take full advantage of promotions and shop strategically. Before making any purchase, always think it through. Make a list of what you truly need, and try to buy during major sales or discount seasons. But remember to stay alert and avoid falling into spending traps like the ones we discussed earlier. A clear shopping plan, price comparison across stores and online platforms, and the use of discount codes through shopping groups can significantly reduce your monthly expenses. You can also try the no-spend challenge, a simple but powerful way to cut back. This involves committing to a period of time, such as a week or a month, where you only spend on absolute necessities. This challenge not only helps you save quickly, but also helps you recognize which expenses are truly essential, encouraging better habits moving forward. Beyond saving, boosting your income is absolutely vital, especially if your income is low or inconsistent. Use your skills and strengths to find freelance or side jobs like selling online, writing content, doing graphic design, tutoring, or taking on short-term projects. Building an extra stream of income not only gives you more breathing room financially, but also gives you greater stability and confidence in unexpected situations. What's more, if you've managed to save a decent amount, don't just let it sit in a basic savings account. Start learning how to invest so your money can grow. Smart investing could include stocks, long-term savings deposits with higher interest rates, or even small real estate investments. The key is to equip yourself with the right knowledge and choose investment channels that match your risk tolerance and financial situation. Investing is one of the most powerful ways to grow your wealth faster and bring you closer to true financial freedom. And finally, don't forget to regularly review and adjust your savings and investment plans, monthly or quarterly. Track your spending carefully, assess how your investments are performing, and make changes as needed. This will keep you proactive, flexible, and well prepared for life's changes or market fluctuations. With the saving and income-boosting strategies I've just shared, I'm confident you'll begin to see real improvements in your financial situation and start laying the groundwork for the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. We've now covered a wide range of practical tips to help you manage spending effectively, save money wisely, and build sustainable income streams. If you apply these strategies consistently and with discipline, I'm certain you'll start seeing a clear, positive shift in your financial life, no matter your current income level. But remember, just understanding the principles and methods isn't enough. The most important thing now is to take action. Stay disciplined, stay committed, and you will start creating real change in your life. And now, before we wrap up this video, let's take a moment to review the key lessons we've learned today, and allow me to share one final message with you. It's something I hope will inspire you to take that very first step toward your own journey to financial freedom. Let's move into the final part together. And just like that, we've reached the end of a full, detailed journey through some of the most important personal finance topics that anyone in their 20s to 30s absolutely needs to know. We've walked through the 10 most common financial mistakes you should avoid and explored the most effective strategies to manage your money, save smartly, and sustainably increase your income. Remember, the journey to financial freedom is never easy, but what matters most is that you've taken your first step today. The fact that you watched this video proves that you truly care about your financial future, and that alone is an incredibly valuable starting point. What's most important now is that you take action, start applying what you've learned to your everyday life, starting today. Begin with the smallest steps. Create a monthly budget, save a portion of your income, cut back on unnecessary spending, or start a side hustle that aligns with your interests and skills. Even if your income is modest right now, staying consistent with these principles will surprise you. You'll start to see how much you can save and how many new opportunities you can create for yourself. Most of all, always remember, sustainable wealth is a long journey, not a destination you reach overnight. Don't let the tempting promises of getting rich quick lead you astray. Instead, nurture patience, discipline, and a hunger to keep learning. These habits and qualities are what will truly help you build a stable and lasting financial life. I believe that if you stay persistent, stay committed, and continually improve your knowledge and self-discipline, you will reach the financial goals you've set for yourself. No more worrying about money. No more stressful days weighed down by financial pressure. Instead, you'll be living a life of freedom, peace, joy, and lasting happiness. Finally, always remember this. Your financial future is in your hands. You have the power to choose to start right now. Don't wait. Don't postpone for some better time, because the best time to start changing your life is this very moment. I wish you continued belief in yourself, bold action, and great success on your journey toward financial freedom and the life you've always dreamed of. Thank you for watching and being a part of this video. See you next time.